Hello all, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to understand the components of UiPath Studio family, and we will go through some frequently asked questions around Studio family. But before we begin, let me introduce word of the day, empower. Empower is a verb and it means power to do something. So without any delay, let us get started with today's session. The Studio family of products covers all areas of automation with tools that are tailored for different types of users and for different types of automations they are trying to develop. So if we see closely, we have three components within Studio family. The first one is Studio Web. So UiPath claims that UiPath Studio Web is the starting point for your automation journey. So for all those who are new to automation or who want to learn automation, Studio Web is the first part where you can seamlessly start your automation journey. So we have the next component is Studio X, and then we have Studio Desktop. So Studio Web, Studio X and Studio are fully compatible, which means either you develop automations on Studio Web, Studio X or Studio, all the components can be integrated. So this feature empowers collaboration between citizen developers and RPA developers. So all of them can seamlessly use UiPath. Studio Web can be just the start of your journey, and whenever you are ready, you can advance to the next step by developing desktop based automations using UiPath Studio X. And advanced developers can unleash the full potential of UiPath using UiPath Studio, which you can download from your cloud account. So here you can download UiPath Studio, which is a desktop based application where you can build complex automations using different frameworks. So the start point would be UiPath Studio Web, where you can start your automation journey and you can develop unattended automations and learn fundamentals through API triggered scenarios and web based UI automations. And using UiPath Studio X, you can integrate your project desktop focused scenarios and UI automations all through attended automations. And once you are good with hands-on with building UI automations, you can add more sequences, flowcharts or state machines using UiPath Studio, and you can build automations using different frameworks within UiPath Studio. So these are the different components within UiPath Studio family, and all these are compatible with each other, which means once you build automations using UiPath Studio X, you can also import it using into UiPath Studio and vice versa. But as of now, it is in early stages. UiPath Studio Web only supports sequences, which means using UiPath Studio, you can build complex workflows, like you can implement sequences, you can implement flowcharts and state machines. But you can only use sequences in UiPath Studio Web. That is the only clause we have right now. But probably in near future, UiPath comes up with implementing other things as well. So let's say if you use flowcharts and state machines, I think they are not compatible with UiPath Studio Web as of now. You can only bring back sequences from UiPath Studio to UiPath Studio Web. So how do you bring that? Let's say you develop an automation. How do you do that? So the simple thing is you can go back to UiPath Studio, and once you are on UiPath Studio, under here you can import project. So using this import project button, you can import a project which is created in UiPath UiPath Studio X or UiPath Studio, or let's say you are trying to move automations from one user to another user. Let's say you have developed the automation and you want to uh, send it to a different user. You can also publish it. You can send the automation to your team member and he can use the automation using import project button. So this is pretty much about UiPath Studio family, and now we will dive into few frequently asked questions for UiPath Studio Web. So the first thing is, what is Studio Web? You can build automations without any coding knowledge. So that is what Studio Web is for. So it is a simple web-based designer platform where you can design automations just using a browser. To whom UiPath Web is most suitable for? So to put it simply, UiPath Studio Web is useful for everyone, no matter what field you are or no matter what the experience you have in building automations. You can use Studio Web to automate your tasks. So the next question, how much training do you need before you can start with Studio Web? To be frank, you need not have any training or you need not have any coding knowledge to get started with UiPath, because UiPath Studio Web already has its own pre-built templates. So using these templates, you can build your automations from scratch. So these templates are just like your resumes. So it's better to have a format of the resume first so that you can fill the data in the resume so that your resume is prepared, right? So these templates are pretty much the same. So it's easier if you already have a layout and you just try to fill the data whatever is necessary and the automation gets ready or the automation is prepared for you. So let's jump on to the next question. What license do I need to use UiPath Studio Web? So UiPath Studio Web doesn't require any license. As said in my previous video, it uses robot units whenever you run the automation. So whenever a user is created, automatically there are certain robot units that gets assigned to the user. So is Studio Web compatible with Studio and Studio X? So the answer is yes, but it has limited compatibility as of now. But in near future, I think we will be able to have full compatibility. As I said, UiPath Studio Web has compatibility with sequences only. So the activities that are available in Studio Web are also available in Studio X and Studio. What applications you can automate using UiPath Studio Web? So you can automate workflows across online application and services. You can use triggers to configure your automations to start whenever a specific event occurs. You can build some document understanding automations as well, where data is extracted using pre-existing models or predefined models. You can interact with different web applications to extract data, and you can interact with different productivity tools such as Google Workspace or Microsoft Office 365. You can also work with ServiceNow, Jira, OpenAI, Workday. So there are multiple applications that you can automate using UiPath Studio Web. So how do you get started with UiPath Studio Web? You can simply navigate to studio.uipath.com. That will straight away land you onto the UiPath Studio Web home screen, where you will be able to see multiple templates, and using those templates you can build an automation, or you can build an automation from here from scratch. So you can also select whether manual automation or a scheduled automation. Let's say manual, and this is how. There is no template here, so you can build everything from scratch here, or you can always go back and build your automations using an existing template where the connections need to be made and the automations will use the template. So these are pretty much the frequently asked questions. Hope you have understood it, and also hope you have come across word of the day during the tutorial and you have observed it. Try to use it during your day so that you can improve your speaking skills and you can learn new words every single day. So thank you all for watching. Hope you have liked this video. We will meet again in next video.